How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Cyberpunk 2077 video. So we were just hit with the hotfix 1.05. It was just announced a couple minutes ago. So there's a bunch of changes that was made in this hotfix, and hopefully it gets everybody's game working a little bit better. So getting into the patch notes, they had a bunch of quest changes. It says Jackie will no longer disappear in the pickup or the heist, because he was just completely disappearing for some people, so that's a good change. They fixed an issue preventing players from landing the helicopter in Love Like Fire. They fixed an issue with Takamara not calling in Play It Safe. It's no longer possible to trigger the same dialogue twice in Big in Japan. They fixed an issue with Delamain appearing upside down in the end of Don't Lose Your Mind. Saul now correctly reaches the van in Riders on the Storm. Fast traveling before the encounter with Tiger Claws no longer breaks progression in I Fought the Law. They fixed an issue blocking progress in Ghost Town if autosave made upon Riven Shiv's arrival was loaded. They fixed an issue with not receiving new calls or messages if Happy Together failed as a result of combat. And you guys basically get the gist of it. They made a bunch of story and specific quest related changes, which I'll post up on the screen here, and you guys can just pause it and read it over. That way, if any of you guys were experiencing any quest related bugs, hopefully this fixes the problem for you. I myself have a few side missions that I just can't finish because they're currently glitched. Like one of them involves me going up an elevator and I just can't get the elevator to work. So it's good to see that there's a lot of quest fixes being made. But outside of the quest fixes, they actually have some gameplay fixes. It says they improved the reaction times of NPCs taking cover. They corrected the number of shots needed to kill civilians from a distance while in combat. So I guess they just made some tweaks there to killing civilians, and hopefully this makes the enemies a little bit smarter and actually makes them take cover realistically. And then we have some visual changes. They fixed an issue with Delamain's image displayed on the top of the current caller during phone calls. This was a glitch I think most people have experienced because Delamain would just show up and no matter who was calling, Delamain's face would just be there. V's mouth doesn't stay open after entering the space lock in Where Is My Mind. They fixed some UI overlapping issues. V appears more modest in the inventory preview after the half-year montage. I think this is referring to you pausing the game and they would automatically be nude. The NPCs are faster to appear in the quest area during Stadium Love. They added some warmth to HDR. They fixed T-posing NPCs and suspected organized crime activities, Just Say No, and the gig Hot Merchandise. They fixed an issue where after brain dances, it was possible to be stuck in third-person view with no head, and then silencer icons are no longer displayed with no image in the inventory. And then for user interface issues, they fixed an issue with weapon crosshairs persisting on screen. Basically, if you guys zoomed in and then you zoomed out, your crosshairs would still be there, so that's fixed. Inventory menu no longer closes immediately after opening it for the first time after leaving a car. They fixed an issue whereby upon accessing Fast Travel Terminal, the button shown in the top right corner prompting to open the quest journal would not work. And then for performance and stability, they made multiple stability improvements, including crash fixes. And then they have some PC specific changes. They basically just had some better optimizations here for like different graphics cards and stuff. They fixed an issue the way raw input is collected. They removed the use of AVX instruction, which was causing some crashes. They removed the debug console to prevent functions that could lead to crashes or blocked quests. This doesn't mean we don't want to support the modding community. Stay tuned for more info on that. So that is going to make a lot of people angry that they turned off the console commands. I don't know how that's going to work, but hopefully they get that back pretty quick. Ray traced reflections should no longer seem too bright in comparison to the environment. They fixed an issue with Steam overlay crash on the game shutdown. That's happened to me a couple times. And then they removed memory pool budgets file, which was not connected with the final version of the game and had no influence on it. It was a leftover file used during the development to estimate memory usage, so they basically just removed a file that wasn't necessary. And then we have some console-specific changes. They improved the image sharpness with chromatic aberration and film grain turned on. I personally turned this off forever ago because my game just couldn't handle it with them turned on, so maybe I'll consider turning those back on now. Settings should no longer reset to default after several game session restarts. They fixed visual issues occurring during the transition between the heist and Love Like Fire. They corrected the look of several vehicles. This is for Xbox specific. Entering combat while the Synaptic Accelerator is active no longer ends the player health bar not being displayed. Also for Xbox, the game no longer becomes unresponsive when signing out from a profile when the controller disconnection message is visible. And then telemetry consent request will appear once more due to an earlier issue with setting reset. And then they fix an issue whereby it was possible to fall down the elevator shaft in the Mega Building H8 in Automatic Love. So those are all the changes that are in this hotfix. It seems like a lot of these are just small changes. Some of them are quest related. Nothing that's really going to change the overall performance of the game. Like, you're not going to turn on your PS4 or your Xbox One and see a night and day difference and be like, oh my god, I can finally play the game again. That's not what this is. This is more of a gameplay kind of update. Again, we're not going to see those major updates that completely overhaul the game till like January or February, but it is nice to see that we're getting another hotfix. There is actually a lot of changes that are in this update, so I hope they keep these coming. I doubt that we get any more before Christmas though, since a lot of the developers are going to go on holiday, which is pretty understandable. So we'll just have to keep an eye out. I will keep you guys updated if there's any more news about the game. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. That way you guys don't miss out on any future Cyberpunk news. And that is going to do it for me, guys, and I will talk to you all in the next video.